You do not have to be glued to your computer screen in a depressing office or cubicle just to make it as a day trader. You can trade from anywhere, anytime, and I've done this now for 20 plus years and I've made nearly $8 million trading in all sorts of countries, from the US to Dubai to Iceland to the jungles of Peru and Bali, and I even made $70,000 on a yacht with very little Wi-Fi while filming the TV show Below Deck. I've done all of this with the retired trader mindset, which is so important because it allows you to not just make more from trading by selecting better trades, but it allows you to live. I know a lot of traders who make more money than me, but they're slaves to their little office, they're slaves to their desk. Sometimes traders even die of a heart attack because all they focus on is money and they never truly live. So I want to teach you the retired trader mindset. This is what I teach my students. Here's how you can do it too with the right mindset, the right setup, and the right tools. What is the retired trader mindset? First of all, it's not like I'm actually a retired trader. What I think of every single day is I don't want to trade unless there's a solid play that pops up that I would feel so guilty missing it, so I have to come out of retirement to capitalize. That way, I choose better trades while looking for, just the ideal plays. I choose quality over quantity. Actually, leave that comment below. Say quality over quantity, because this is so important, specifically for penny stock traders, because there's not always a great high odds setup every single minute, every single hour, or even every single day. And frankly, when I travel, I'm focused on, exploring wherever I am, whether it's for food or adventure or charity, or, I'm just like walking around. But that way, my priority is on travel, and then I don't want to trade. Many traders are so desperate for a good trade. They want the money, they want to feel good, and they waste their life and they take subpar trades. I know this is a crazy thing, but this is why I teach. Your performance will improve when you take less trades, better planned, more meticulous trades. Trading is not a 9-to-5 job, or at least I don't think it should be. I want you to work hard to make money, but I want you to enjoy life. Let me give you some common misconceptions about trading and traveling. What you have to understand is that social media doesn't show you everything, okay? Like, yeah, I'm on my laptop in the jungles, in pools and stuff like that, but you have to learn to resist the temptation of trading in a hot market, okay? I might be on my laptop, but I don't necessarily need to be in a trade. A lot of the time, I'm commenting in my chat room, I'm creating video lessons, I'm writing blog posts, I'm still working. I always do have Wi-Fi just in case. Sometimes I use Starlink, sometimes I use hotspots, but I'm not always in a trade. So how do you balance your trading time versus exploring time? Well, I'll prioritize exploring, but at the same time, I'm trying to trade whenever I can. So usually when I'm in Japan, which I love, it's 12 to 13 hours ahead. I still look to trade around 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Japan time, which is around 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. New York time. So I fit trading in when I can, but I'm not going to stay up all night in Japan during a hot market, FYI. I tried doing that last December and I ended up getting sick and I ended up losing.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
So if you try to travel and trade too much, you're not going to win-win, you're going to lose-lose. You have to know your limits. You have to focus on sleep, and you have to not look for trades all the time. For me, I actually live better while trading less. I need to repeat it over and over again because a lot of people don't believe it. So it's quality over quantity. Leave that comment below. How long do I actually spend on my computer? Like I said, an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. If the markets are down a lot, then I don't necessarily need to even put in more than like 10 minutes. Like if the NASDAQ's down 5% or 3% on the day and there's no big spikers, I might just say, hey, this is a scary market. I'm not even looking for any big spikers today. But every single day that the market is open, I'm looking for potential trades. But again, I have to think of myself as a retired trader. Even though I'm looking for trades, I will not execute. Wait a minute, you say you're a retired trader, Tim. Like, look at your bio. You trade almost every day. You teach other traders. Yes, I will trade if there's a good enough setup. Every day I'm looking every day, I'm not always trading. And by traveling, going to amazing places, that allows me to be distracted. Trading can be very addictive. So if I am in an office or cubicle, when I am in like a good time zone, like I go to Austin, Texas, where Stocks to Trade is based. I go to Miami, where my parents are. I come to Vegas here to film in the studio. I go to LA. When I'm in the US, and there's really not as much adventure for me to have and not as much charity, not as much excuses to stay away, I actually do worse. My trading is statistically worse when I'm not jet lagged, when I have good Wi-Fi, because then I'm like, let's get to work. I want to do this now. And that's actually the wrong mindset. Many people live for trading because they're not doing that much with their life outside of the computer, so they get their adrenaline rush. They get their dopamine from trading. That encourages them to trade more, because if you make a bad trade, you don't get the proper adrenaline or dopamine. You're always looking for the next big trade. So I don't want that. What are some skills that you need to trade full time? For me, I'm always looking at technical analysis. I'm looking for breakouts. I'm looking for breakdowns, especially multi-day runners. When there's a multi-day runner, like a stock is up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row, it starts to go parabolic. It starts to go supernova. I'm looking for it to top out. I'm looking for a big morning panic to dip buy into. So I actually do better when there's a multi-day runner. If it's like a first green day or a potential first green day, it could still fail. It doesn't necessarily have to be a first green day. So I'm looking at these charts. I'm always using Stocks to Trade. I'm always using Stocks to Trade. Breaking news. Just FYI, I also recently filmed a video, my favorite stock trading setups, 5 patterns. So when those setups appear, that's when I come out of retirement to really trade. If you don't find your favorite patterns in the market, you shouldn't trade. And if you don't know what your favorite stock trading setups and patterns are, then you need to study more. For me, I know my favorite patterns, I know my sweet spot, and if the play for whatever reason does not work, I know when to cut losses. Also, I just filmed a video, in case you don't know, how to cut losses and how to take profits before it's too late. So watch that video too. All of these videos are going to be helpful in refining and optimizing your process. I want you also to get consistently profitable, okay? Trading conservatively has been key to my success. We're trading very volatile stocks. So you have to really analyze your trading. It's all fun and games to travel and trade, but you must optimize your process. So you have to be set up for remote trading perfectly. What do you actually need? Well, I have one laptop. Sometimes I bring a second laptop just as backup. I've had laptops die on trips. I don't really have extra batteries, and I use whatever like the hotel Wi-Fi is or a hotspot. Ideally, you have Starlink too. I do have Starlink that works in most countries. What software do I have? I use Stocks to Trade every single day. Stocks to Trade breaking news. Stocks to Trade breaking news is so key. I can't even tell you how important it is. I cannot emphasize it enough. You need to have access to the charts and to know what news is happening. Also, have the right brokers. I've been using Interactive Brokers. They open up at 4 a.m. Eastern. There's a lot of 4 to 6 to 7 a.m. spikers. E-Trade doesn't open until 7 a.m. Some people say, Tim, do you have all these alerts set up like for when prices get hit? No, I don't set alerts because, again, I don't want to be an efficient trader. I don't care if a stock hits a specific level. I want to know how it hit that level, and I want to watch it. The alerts that I do have, it's for like hotel and flight deals and restaurant openings. I like a lot of food, as you can tell. I don't want to set alerts because, again, I don't want to be a slave to the market. A lot of people ask, are there different countries that you prefer trading from or continents? When you're in Asia, you have to trade the American Stock Exchange in the middle of the night. That's sometimes tough. I don't sleep as much. Europe, I love. I go to Europe for several months every year. I'm very blessed because 4 a.m. Eastern is usually 10 a.m. Eastern. So even if I'm up early for a potential trade in Europe, I mean, it's like 10 or 11 a.m. So be careful with your time zones. Also understand if you're on the water, like on a yacht, it's sometimes tough to trade because the Wi-Fi doesn't really work. Beaches are tough. On your laptop, I get a lot of sand in my laptop. I've destroyed a lot of laptops and smartphones, but you have to choose, right? Like, you know, if you want to be in Europe, if you want to be in Asia, that's fine. I encourage you to travel all around the world. I'm now over 100 countries visited, and I have, charity projects now in 32 countries. So think about this though, ahead of time, before you book a trip. what's your time zone, what kind of plays are moving, because the stock market changes. You just have to plan your day around what patterns are hot. There doesn't always have to be a play, but you should be prepared. We live in the most fascinating time in human history where you should explore, where we can explore. So what are the advantages of trading from different parts of the world? Well, again, it's sleep and exploration and excitement. Asia, for me, I have the most charity. Europe, I have the most restaurants. Africa, I have the most adventure. So I'm all over the place. People always ask, like, what's your one favorite country? Why does it have to be one favorite country? I love traveling everywhere. I have a very well-rounded travel life. I have a very well-rounded life. I'm very blessed. And I want you to get into this too. I should mention that we have the Inner Circle now, where these are meetups with my top students, my millionaire students and we travel all around the world together. We recently had an Inner Circle meetup in Italy. We also had an Inner Circle meetup in Mexico. The next Inner Circle meetup is in Miami. We're going all over. And now even my students are helping me build schools. Some of my top millionaire students are becoming philanthropists. I know this all sounds crazy. It sounds too good to be true, but it does take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of studying, but you can make this work for you. So click some links below. I'll include links to a whole bunch of other video lessons. Start learning about different patterns, see my favorite patterns, see my favorite setups, see my favorite tools and brokers. You gotta study. This game has endless potential, but you must be prepared. Leave that comment below. Let me know if you want to travel and trade too. It's a good life.